My beloved child. I saw all the opportunities that came close, opportunities that ought to change your life, yet they slipped away. You have been strong for so long, but tonight you are tired. Come closer. Let your breathing slow. You do not have to hold yourself together with me. I know how it feels when progress seems near but never fully arrives. When you begin to hope again, only to guard your heart because you do not want to be disappointed. When you wonder if you missed something, said something wrong, waited too long, moved too soon. You replay moments in your mind, trying to solve what was never yours to solve. You call it responsibility. You call it wisdom. But beneath it, there is exhaustion. I am not disappointed in your weariness. I am not measuring you by how well you carried the pressure. I am not waiting for you to figure everything out. I see how hard you have tried. I see the effort no one applauded. I see the silent prayers you whispered when no one else noticed. And I am not asking you to try harder tonight. Lay it down. Lay down the timelines you created. Lay down the expectations that did not unfold the way you imagined. Lay down the fear that you are falling behind. You are not behind. You are not forgotten. You are not standing outside of your future. You are simply tired from trying to push doors that were never yours to force. There is a difference between faith and striving. Faith rests. Striving strains. And you have strained enough for one day. So let me hold what you have been holding. Let me carry the weight of the almost. Let me carry the uncertainty. Let me carry the pressure to make something happen. You were never designed to manufacture your own breakthrough. You were never meant to exhaust yourself proving that you are ready. I know the frustration of nearly arriving. I know the ache of watching others walk through doors you prayed for. I know the quiet comparison that creeps in when you wonder why it seems easier for them. But what you cannot see tonight is that not every open door leads to peace, and not every delay is denial. Some doors are already shifting. You cannot hear the hinges moving yet. You cannot see the hands arranging conversations, adjusting timing, softening hearts. But movement has begun. And it does not require your anxiety to sustain it. This is where you breathe differently. Because the breakthrough you desire will not be born from your exhaustion. It will unfold from my intention. Tonight, I am not asking you to strategize. I am not asking you to plan your next step. I am not asking you to rehearse tomorrow's conversations in your mind. I am inviting you to rest while I work. Yes, rest. Not as surrender to defeat, but as trust in me. You think rest means losing momentum. But rest is not weakness. Rest is strategy. When you sleep, you release control. When you sleep, you admit that you are not the source. When you sleep, you step out of the way of what I am arranging. You have done what you could do. You applied. You showed up. You prayed. You waited. Now let me do what you cannot do. Let your shoulders drop. Let your jaw unclench. Let your thoughts slow down. You do not have to solve tonight what I have already begun to settle. Even the doors that closed had purpose. Even the silence had protection woven into it. You will understand more soon, but for now, understanding is not required for peace. All that is required is trust. I am closer than your next breath. I am steadier than your circumstances. I am not rushed by time, and I am not threatened by delays. What feels uncertain to you is already known to me. So place the weight here. Place the what if here. Place the when here. Place the why not me here. You will sleep tonight, and I will continue what I started. You will rest, and I will open what no effort could force. You will close your eyes, and I will move in places you cannot reach. This is not the end of your opportunity. This is the beginning of a different way, my way. And my way does not require your exhaustion. It requires your trust. So breathe again. I am working. You are still here with me, breathing a little slower now. The weight is lighter than it was a few moments ago. And as you rest in that quiet space, I want you to understand something that will steady your heart. The doors in your life are not controlled by people. They are not controlled by opinions, panels, systems, markets, or connections. They are not controlled by who likes you, who overlooks you, who responds, or who delays. I know you have felt the sting of being unseen. I know the quiet fear that whispers, what if they forget me? What if I am passed over again? But listen to me carefully. I am the one who opens what no one can shut. I told you, I know thy works, behold, I have set before thee an open door, and no man can shut it, for thou hast a little strength, and hast kept my word, and hast not denied my name. Do you hear the tenderness in that? You had only a little strength. Not overflowing strength. Not perfect strength. Just a little. And even with that little, I set an open door before you. Not because you forced it. Not because you convinced anyone. But because I chose to. When I open a door, no one can shut it. Not a supervisor. Not a relative. Not a competitor. Not a closed economy. Not a delay in paperwork. Not even your past mistakes. What I open is secured by my authority, not your performance. And when I close a door, it is not punishment. It is precision. I also said, and the key of the house of David will I lay upon his shoulder, so he shall open, and none shall shut, and he shall shut, and none shall open. The key rests on my shoulder. Not in their hands. Not in your hands. On mine. You have been watching people as if they are gatekeepers. You have been interpreting silence as rejection. You have been measuring your worth by responses. But your future is not hanging on human approval. The key is not in the room you are trying to enter. It is with me. This is why you can rest. Because if a door truly belongs to you, it cannot be permanently blocked. And if it was permanently blocked, it did not belong to you. Some of the doors that closed were not lost opportunities. They were protection. Protection from environments that would have drained you. Protection from connections that looked promising but carried hidden strain. Protection from stepping into something before your roots were deep enough to sustain it. You felt disappointment. I saw preservation. You felt overlooked. I saw redirection. You felt delayed. I was positioning. There is a difference between being denied and being prepared. Denial pushes you away from purpose. Preparation aligns you with it. And what you have called delay has often been alignment. I have never misplaced your name. I have never confused your file. I have never forgotten your prayer. Even when the answer did not arrive in the form you expected, I was still governing the outcome. Even when the email did not come, when the call did not return, when the meeting did not lead where you hoped, I was still holding the key. You are not at the mercy of timing. You are not at the mercy of favoritism. You are not at the mercy of systems that fluctuate. You are under my authority. And my authority is not hurried. The door that belongs to you will not require you to beg. It will not require you to shrink yourself. It will not require you to compromise your peace. When it opens, it will open because I turned the key. And when I turn it, it will remain open long enough for you to walk through with confidence. So release the fear of being forgotten. Release the anxiety that someone else will take your place. What is meant for you cannot be reassigned. What I have written over your life cannot be erased by oversight. You may not see the handle turning yet. You may not hear the latch moving. But the authority has already been established. The decision is not hanging in uncertainty. It is resting in my hands. And my hands are steady. In the quiet of this night, I am reminding you who governs your doors. Not to impress you with power, but to comfort you with security. You do not have to fight for access. You do not have to panic when something closes. You do not have to chase what I have not assigned. If it closes, trust me. If it delays, trust me. If it opens, walk through with peace. Because I am not reacting to your life. I am orchestrating it. And soon, you will begin to understand why some seasons required waiting. And now, as your heart settles into the security of my authority, I want to gently untangle something that has quietly shaped the way you see your past. You have mistaken closed doors for rejection. You have looked back at certain moments and felt the sting all over again. The interview that did not lead anywhere. The relationship that dissolved. The opportunity that seemed perfect but slipped through your hands. You replay those scenes and wonder if you were not enough. If you lacked something. If I stepped back. But listen to me closely. A closed door is not proof of abandonment. It is not evidence that you were unworthy. It is not confirmation that you failed beyond recovery. You have measured those moments through disappointment, but I have measured them through design. I told you, and we know that all things work together for good to them that love God, to them who are the called according to His purpose. All things. Not only the doors that open smoothly. Not only the celebrations. Not only the obvious victories. All things. The silence. The waiting. The redirections. The no that felt final. I have been weaving even those into something that serves you. You saw a closed door. I saw a detour that protected your peace. You saw a missed chance. I saw timing that would have exposed you before you were ready. You saw loss. I saw preservation. Some rooms would have applauded you publicly but drained you privately. Some opportunities would have elevated your image but strained your soul. Some relationships would have accelerated your progress but eroded your confidence. And because I love you, I did not allow every door to open simply because you desired it. For the Lord God is a sun and shield, the Lord will give grace and glory, no good thing will He withhold from them that walk uprightly. No good thing. If it was withheld, it was not good for you in that season. That does not mean it looked bad. It may have looked beautiful. It may have looked ideal. It may have matched the vision you held in your heart. But goodness is deeper than appearance. Goodness considers your longevity. Goodness considers your emotional capacity. Goodness considers what is forming inside you. You have grieved doors that were never meant to carry your future. And I have been patient while you processed that grief. I am not offended by your questions. I am not unsettled by your confusion. You were responding from the view you had. But now I am inviting you to see differently. What if that closed door kept you from entanglement? What if that delay kept you from burnout? What if that rejection redirected you toward alignment? You have interpreted your history as a series of almosts. But I have seen it as a sequence of careful positioning. There were skills you needed to sharpen. There were parts of your character still strengthening. There were desires that needed refining so that when the right door opens, you will not sabotage it with insecurity or rush through it with fear. Preparation does not always feel productive. Sometimes it feels like stillness. Sometimes it feels like obscurity. Sometimes it feels like you are being overlooked while others advance. But obscurity can be protection. Stillness can be formation. You were not abandoned in those quiet seasons. You were being built. Even now, as you lie here thinking about what could have been, I want you to release the regret. The past is not a record of your disqualification. It is evidence of my careful guidance. There are doors you have not even imagined yet. There are spaces that require the maturity you are gaining now. There are rooms that will feel natural to you because you were shaped for them in the waiting. If certain doors had opened earlier, you would have entered them with a different version of yourself. A version still anxious for approval. A version still unsure of your identity. A version still trying to prove something. But the version of you I am forming now walks in differently. Stronger. Quieter. Anchored. So do not look back with shame. Look back with trust. Every closed door has been filtered through my intention. And what I have allowed to close has created space for something greater to open. You are not behind. You are being prepared. Even tonight, while you rest, preparation is continuing in ways you cannot measure. And soon, you will begin to see why the waiting was necessary. So let your thoughts soften now. You have looked back. You have reconsidered the doors that closed. And little by little, your heart is beginning to loosen its grip on urgency. That urgency told you that if something did not happen quickly, you would fall behind. That if others moved forward before you, you would be forgotten. But you are not in a race. You are in my care. While you sleep, I am not idle. I told you, thou preparest a table before me in the presence of mine enemies, thou anointest my head with oil, my cup runneth over. Notice the order. I prepare the table. Not you. You do not set the stage for your elevation. You do not arrange the room for your breakthrough. I prepare it. And I do it even in the presence of what once intimidated you. Even in the presence of doubt. Even in the presence of those who underestimated you. Preparation does not require noise. It does not require announcements. It happens quietly, intentionally, completely. You fear falling behind because you cannot see movement. But movement is not always visible. Seeds grow in darkness long before they break through soil. Foundations are laid beneath ground level before a structure rises. Conversations begin in private before they become invitations. Decisions shift in rooms you have never entered. Hearts soften in ways you cannot track. Timing aligns without your awareness. While you rest, I am arranging. There are emails that will be written. There are calls that will be made. There are recommendations that will surface your name. There are opportunities forming that you have not yet imagined. Favor is not always loud. Sometimes it is a quiet decision in your direction. You do not have to monitor it. You do not have to chase it. You do not have to stay awake to protect it. If the table requires your exhaustion to remain set, then it was never my table for you. What I prepare is sustained by my authority, not your anxiety. You have spent many nights trying to calculate your next step. Wondering who to contact. Wondering what to say. Wondering if you should push harder. But tonight, I am inviting you into a different posture. Trust the unseen work. Trust the silent shifts. Trust the preparation happening beyond your awareness. There are doors of favor that do not respond to pressure but open at the right whisper of my timing. There are conversations already leaning toward you. There are alignments being adjusted so that when you arrive, the environment will support you instead of strain you. You are not falling behind. You are being positioned. If you could see what I am arranging, you would not rush me. If you could see the full table, you would not question the weight. Every detail is intentional. The seat fits you. The provision matches you. The oil is measured for you. The overflow is not random, it is prepared. And I do not prepare carelessly. I know the fear that rises when silence stretches. The thought that maybe nothing is happening. But silence does not mean inactivity. It often means precision. Loud seasons are not always fruitful ones. Quiet seasons often carry the deepest shifts. Let your body feel that truth. You do not need to run ahead to secure your place. Your place is secured because I prepared it. Even what once opposed you will witness your stability. Even what once caused insecurity will lose its voice when you see how carefully I have arranged what is coming. Tonight, release the urgency to make something happen. Release the fear that time is slipping away. Release the pressure to prove that you are ready. Readiness is not forced. It is formed. And formation is happening even now. As your eyes grow heavier, let this settle in your spirit: you are not waiting alone. You are resting while preparation continues. You are sleeping while details are being aligned. You are breathing while I am arranging what you could never orchestrate on your own. The table is being set. And soon, you will understand that the quiet was never emptiness. It was preparation. Now, as you remain in this calm, I want you to consider something even more personal. The table is not only provision. It is also connection. Because what I prepare often includes the right people seated beside you. Because the table I prepare is never empty. You were not created to walk alone, even though there have been seasons when it felt that way. I know the quiet ache of feeling unsupported. I know the moments when you wished someone would step in, speak up for you, recommend you, encourage you without you asking. You have grown used to carrying things by yourself. You have learned to expect less so you will not be disappointed. But isolation was never my design for you. While you were wondering who would stand with you, I was already moving hearts. While you were questioning who truly sees your value, I was aligning people whose vision matches what I placed inside you. You do not have to force connections. You do not have to chase validation. Alignment does not respond to desperation, it responds to direction. Trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths. Notice that I did not ask you to calculate every relationship. I did not tell you to analyze every outcome. I asked you to trust. When you release the need to control the path, I direct it. Direction includes people. Direction includes introductions. Direction includes divine intersections that feel natural instead of strained. There are helpers you have not met yet. There are advocates who will speak your name in rooms you have never entered. There are friends who will strengthen you in ways you did not know you needed. There are partnerships that will feel easy, not forced. You have experienced connections that drained you, relationships that required you to shrink or overextend. Those were not punishments, they were lessons. They refined your discernment. They showed you what misalignment feels like so that when alignment comes, you will recognize its peace. The right people will not compete with your calling. They will complement it. The right voices will not confuse you. They will confirm what I have already whispered to you. The right doors will not require manipulation. They will open through clarity and timing. Even now, conversations are forming. Thoughts about you are surfacing in minds you do not see. Someone is considering reaching out. Someone is remembering your work. Someone is preparing to connect in a way that will make sense when it happens. You are not forgotten in the network of destiny. You are being woven into it carefully. Do not let past disappointment convince you that you must do everything alone. You are supported, even when support is still approaching. You belong in the spaces I am preparing, and belonging often arrives through people. Through collaboration. Through shared vision. Through unexpected encouragement that reminds you that you were never meant to carry this journey by yourself. If you had connected too early with certain people, it would have slowed you. If you had aligned with the wrong voices, it would have distracted you. Timing protects relationships just as much as it protects opportunities. I am not only opening doors, I am aligning those who will stand beside you when you walk through them. So release the fear that you must secure every alliance. Release the pressure to impress. Release the loneliness that tells you no one understands. I understand. And I am sending understanding toward you in human form. When the right alignment comes, it will not feel like striving. It will feel like recognition. A quiet knowing. A shared clarity. A sense that the path is smoother because you are no longer pushing it alone. You do not see the full picture yet, but direction is active. Paths are crossing. Schedules are shifting. Environments are adjusting. And you are being guided into connections that will strengthen what I am building in your life. Rest in that. You are not isolated. You are being aligned. And as these alignments take their place, there are also obstacles that must quietly move aside. Things you could not remove on your own are already beginning to loosen. As the right people begin to align, you may still remember the obstacles that once stood firmly in your way. The resistance that would not move no matter how hard you tried. The applications that stalled. The approvals that lingered. The barriers that felt stronger than your effort. I know how frustrating it has been to push against something that would not yield. But some things were never meant to move by your strength. You have been trying to open gates that required my hand. You have been straining against bars that were never designed to respond to human force. And in your frustration, you wondered if the resistance meant the promise was not real. It was real. It simply required authority beyond your own. Listen carefully to what I have already spoken. I will go before thee, and make the crooked places straight. I will break in pieces the gates of brass, and cut in sunder the bars of iron, and I will give thee the treasures of darkness, and hidden riches of secret places, that thou mayest know that I, the Lord, which call thee by thy name, am the God of Israel. I will go before you. You are not walking toward closed doors alone. I move ahead of you. I reach places before you arrive. I straighten what looked complicated. I dismantle what looked permanent. The gates of brass that intimidated you are not intimidating to me. The bars of iron that exhausted you are not unbreakable in my hands. You felt resistance and assumed you needed more effort. But some resistance was waiting for my command, not your push. There are systems shifting that you cannot see. There are decisions being revisited. There are obstacles weakening quietly. What looked immovable is already cracking under my authority. You will not have to fight for every inch of progress. There is a difference between perseverance and warfare, and I know when to step in so that you do not exhaust yourself battling what I have already decided to remove. You have carried frustration in your chest, wondering why it had to be so hard. But hardness does not mean impossibility. It sometimes means that something valuable is on the other side. I spoke of treasures of darkness and hidden riches of secret places. Not treasures exposed in plain sight, but hidden ones. Riches that require doors to be opened properly, not forced. There are blessings attached to the very barriers that discouraged you. There is wisdom you gained because of the wait. There is resilience forming in you that will sustain the next level. And there are resources, opportunities, and insights concealed behind doors that I am unlocking at the right moment. You will not have to break yourself to break through. When I move, what seemed complex will become clear. What seemed delayed will suddenly advance. What seemed guarded will open with unexpected ease. You will look back and realize that the obstacle was never stronger than my will. It was simply waiting for my timing. Let your heart relax into that. You are not powerless. You are positioned under power. Even the things that opposed you have limits. They answer to my voice. They cannot outlast my purpose for you. If I have assigned something to your life, no gate can permanently block it. And if a barrier remained longer than you expected, it was refining you while I prepared the release. You do not need to rehearse the struggle anymore. You do not need to brace yourself for endless resistance. The season of pushing against iron is shifting. You will begin to notice doors that respond without strain. Opportunities that open without conflict. Progress that flows without the same level of friction. And when it happens, you will know it was not your strength that accomplished it. It was my hand. The hidden treasures I mentioned are not only material. They include confidence restored, peace regained, identity strengthened, perspective deepened. What is coming through these open doors carries more than access, it carries transformation. So release the frustration. Release the memory of how hard it used to be. Release the belief that every step forward must feel like a battle. I am already moving ahead of you, breaking what you could not break, clearing what you could not clear. And as these obstacles dissolve, you will begin to understand something even more important. Not only am I removing barriers, I am doing it at the exact right time. You have felt the pressure of time more than you admit. Even when you try to be calm, there is a quiet clock ticking in your thoughts. You measure your life against calendars, against milestones, against where you thought you would be by now. You wonder if you started too late. If you waited too long. If the opportunity window is closing. But listen to me gently. You are not racing against time. You are moving within it. To everything there is a season, and a time to every purpose under the heaven. A season is not random. A time is not accidental. There is a rhythm woven into your life that you cannot always see from where you stand. You only feel the waiting. I see the alignment. You only feel the stretch between promise and manifestation. I see the exact second when everything fits. Impatience whispers that delay means loss. That if it has not happened yet, it may never happen. That others are advancing while you are paused. But your life is not on pause. It is in process. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak, and not lie, though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. There is an appointed time. Not a guess time. Not a forced time. An appointed time. That means there is a moment already marked. A moment when preparation, alignment, removal of obstacles, and readiness converge. When that moment arrives, it will speak for itself. You will not have to convince anyone that it is right. It will be evident. Though it tarry, wait for it. Waiting is not punishment. Waiting is positioning. Waiting stretches your trust so that when the door opens, you walk through it with stability instead of fear. If everything unfolded the instant you desired it, you would not have the depth you are gaining now. You would not have the discernment. You would not have the calm strength that is forming in you. You fear that time is running out. But I am not bound by the anxiety of clocks. I am not limited by age, by past delays, by missed chances. When I move, restoration can compress what looked like years of waiting into moments of acceleration. What felt slow can suddenly shift. What seemed stagnant can begin to flow quickly. Acceleration is not frantic, it is precise. You will not miss what is meant for you. If it has not opened yet, it is because the appointed time has not fully matured. And when it matures, the door will not resist you. It will respond. Imagine how different it feels to walk through a door that opens smoothly compared to one you had to force. One brings peace. The other brings strain. I am leading you toward what opens with peace. So release the comparison. Release the internal countdown. Release the fear that you are behind schedule. You are on my schedule. And my schedule accounts for everything you cannot see. It accounts for the people being aligned. The barriers being removed. The preparation taking place inside you. The conditions being adjusted around you. Nothing is wasted in this season. Even the waiting has been shaping you. You are more patient now than you were before. More discerning. More grounded. Those qualities will sustain what is coming. Without them, the open door might have overwhelmed you. With them, you will step through steady. Let the anxiety about time dissolve. Let the pressure in your chest loosen. The door will open at the right time. Not a moment too early to harm you. Not a moment too late to bless you. And when it does, you will realize that the delay was never denial. It was orchestration. For now, allow this truth to quiet your thoughts. The future is not slipping away from you. It is being prepared with precision. You do not need to rush the unfolding. You only need to trust the one who appointed the time. As you breathe in and out, feel how that trust begins to replace the tension you were holding. Feel how peace starts to settle where urgency once lived. Because peace, not pressure, is the atmosphere where my promises unfold. Peace, not pressure, is where my promises unfold. So tonight, I draw you into peace. You have carried enough thoughts for one day. Your mind has been turning possibilities over and over, rehearsing conversations, imagining outcomes, trying to prepare for what has not even happened yet. Even when your body is tired, your thoughts keep moving. I see how difficult it has been to truly rest. But this is the moment where you let go. In peace I will both lay me down and sleep, for thou, Lord, only makest me dwell in safety. Let those words settle into you slowly. In peace. Not in fear. Not in uncertainty. Not in striving. In peace you lay down. And you sleep. Because I make you dwell in safety. Safety is not the absence of unanswered questions. Safety is my presence surrounding you even when answers are still unfolding. You are not exposed tonight. You are not vulnerable to chaos. You are held. Feel your breathing. Let it slow. Your nervous system has been alert for too long, as if you needed to stay awake to protect your future. But your future does not depend on your vigilance tonight. It rests in my hands. And my hands do not grow tired. Release your shoulders. Unclench your jaw. Let your heartbeat settle into a steady rhythm. You do not have to monitor tomorrow from this bed. You do not have to anticipate every possibility. You do not have to guard every door. The one who opens and closes them is watching while you sleep. There is a difference between thinking and trusting. Thinking tries to solve. Trusting lets go. Tonight, I invite you to trust. When you lie down, you are not giving up. You are giving me space to move without your interference. You are allowing your body to recover, your mind to reset, your spirit to breathe. Rest is not laziness. It is alignment with how I designed you. Your body was created to renew itself in stillness. Your mind was created to quiet under my peace. Your heart was created to feel safe with me. So as the night deepens, imagine your thoughts gently placing themselves in my care. The unfinished tasks. The pending responses. The unknown outcomes. Place them here. You do not need to carry them into sleep. Even if you have struggled with insomnia before, even if nights have felt restless, this moment is different. You are not alone in your room. You are surrounded. The atmosphere around you is steadied. The weight pressing against your chest is lifting. Let the silence feel kind instead of threatening. Let the darkness feel restful instead of uncertain. I am here. And tomorrow will not look like yesterday. You do not yet see the subtle shifts that have already begun. You do not yet feel the doors loosening, the alignment settling, the obstacles weakening. But when you wake, something inside you will feel lighter. Hope will feel more natural. Expectation will feel less forced. Rest prepares you to recognize what is changing. If you stay in anxiety, you may miss the quiet miracles unfolding. But if you sleep in peace, you will wake with clarity. You will sense when it is time to move. You will notice the small signs that point toward larger openings. For now, none of that requires your effort. It only requires your surrender. Let your eyelids grow heavy without resistance. Let your thoughts drift without chasing them. Let your body sink into the surface beneath you, supported, secure. In peace you lay down. In safety you dwell. There is no emergency in your life tonight. There is no countdown threatening your destiny. There is no unseen force stronger than my care. You are safe enough to sleep deeply. And as you rest, expectation will quietly begin to rise within you. Not anxious expectation, but calm confidence. The kind that knows something is shifting even before it becomes visible. Sleep now. I am working. And when you awaken, you will step into a day that carries the evidence of what I have been preparing. And as you drift in this peace, something gentle begins to rise within you. Not pressure. Not urgency. Expectation. You have prayed quietly. You have whispered hopes when no one else heard. You have asked for open doors, for clarity, for provision, for favor. Sometimes you prayed with confidence. Sometimes you prayed through doubt. Sometimes you prayed with tears. I heard every word. But somewhere along the way, disappointment tried to lower your expectations. It told you to hope carefully. To believe cautiously. To expect less so that it would not hurt as much if nothing changed. I understand why you did that. It felt safer to reduce your expectation than to face another delay. It felt wiser to protect your heart than to stretch it again. But I am not asking you to brace for disappointment tonight. I am inviting you to quietly expect what you have placed in my hands. Therefore I say unto you, what things soever ye desire, when ye pray, believe that ye receive them, and ye shall have them. Believe that you receive. Not strive until you deserve. Not panic until you secure. Believe. Belief is not loud. It does not have to shout. It does not need to force itself into existence. It rests in trust. It says, I have asked, and I trust the one who heard me. You have already planted seeds through your prayers. Expectation is simply the confidence that seeds grow. You fear being disappointed again. You wonder what will happen if you allow yourself to believe and nothing shifts. But faith is not foolishness when it is anchored in me. It is alignment. It is agreement with what I am already doing. You do not have to manufacture excitement. Just open your heart slightly wider. Allow yourself to imagine doors opening without immediately dismissing the thought. Allow yourself to picture good news without correcting it. Allow yourself to sense that something favorable is approaching without silencing it. Expectation prepares you to recognize the answer when it appears. If you expect nothing, you may overlook what is arriving. If you expect little, you may settle for less than what I prepared. But if you expect with calm trust, you will see the evidence when it begins to surface. And it will surface. In ways that feel natural. In timing that feels aligned. In opportunities that carry peace instead of chaos. There are signs you will notice soon. Small confirmations at first. A conversation that shifts. A response that feels different. An opening that appears where there was resistance before. Do not dismiss those moments. They are part of the unfolding. Expectation does not mean everything happens overnight. It means your heart is positioned to receive. You prayed for open doors. Now allow yourself to expect them. You asked for clarity. Now allow yourself to expect guidance. You requested favor. Now allow yourself to expect kindness in places you once felt tension. You are not naive for believing. You are aligned. Faith does not deny reality. It trusts that reality can change under my hand. It does not ignore past disappointment. It simply refuses to let disappointment dictate the future. So as you rest tonight, let expectation replace guardedness. Let hope rise without apology. Let your spirit agree with what I have already set in motion. You will not be left waiting without movement forever. You will not pray into emptiness. You will not believe in vain. The door you have asked for is not imaginary. The shift you have hoped for is not unrealistic. The alignment you long for is not out of reach. Stay open. Stay receptive. Stay peaceful. Because soon, you will begin to see what you have been believing for. And as that evidence appears, even in small measures, it will confirm what I have been whispering to you all along. Now I am drawing this promise closer, sealing it gently over your heart so that doubt does not steal it in the morning. Hold that expectation gently now. Do not let it turn into tension again. Let it rest in certainty. Because what I open cannot be sabotaged. You have carried a quiet fear that even if something good begins, it could be taken away. That progress might reverse. That favor might fade. That someone might interfere. You have seen opportunities shift before, and it made you cautious. It made you brace yourself for instability. But I am not unstable. Listen again to my authority. These things saith he that is holy, he that is true, he that hath the key of David, he that openeth, and no man shutteth, and no man openeth. I am holy. I am true. I hold the key. When I open, no man shuts. Not quietly behind your back. Not gradually over time. Not through manipulation or opposition. No man shuts. You do not have to defend what I establish. You do not have to guard every blessing with anxiety. You do not have to suspect every smile or fear every delay once the door opens. If I opened it, it carries my seal. And what carries my seal carries permanence. The fear of sabotage has made you hesitant to celebrate too early. It has made you whisper instead of rejoice. It has made you wait for something to go wrong before you fully relax. But I am inviting you into a different posture. Confidence. Not confidence in people. Not confidence in circumstances. Confidence in me. If I have decided that this is your season to walk through a certain door, then that decision is not fragile. It is not hanging by a thread. It is not dependent on someone else's mood or opinion. It rests on my authority. And my authority does not tremble. You will not have to fight to keep what I give. You will not have to compete to remain where I place you. You will not have to shrink to maintain access. When I open a door, it aligns with who you are becoming. It supports your growth. It strengthens your peace. It does not constantly threaten to collapse. Let that settle the last traces of fear inside you. The opportunity that belongs to you will not be stolen. The favor assigned to you will not be redirected. The breakthrough marked for you will not be cancelled. Even if others attempt resistance, they cannot override what I have established. Even if circumstances shift temporarily, they cannot undo what I have authorized permanently. This is why you can sleep. This is why you can expect. This is why you can breathe without bracing. Because the door that opens under my hand is not temporary access. It is intentional placement. You have been living with uncertainty for so long that security feels unfamiliar. But security is your inheritance. Stability is part of what I prepare. You do not have to live waiting for loss. Instead, live anchored in assurance. When morning comes, you may begin to notice small confirmations. A message. A shift in tone. An unexpected opportunity. A sense of clarity where confusion once lingered. Do not dismiss those signs. They are reminders that what I open is active. And even before you see visible evidence, let the certainty settle deep inside you now. No one can close what I open. No system. No delay. No oversight. No opposition. No past mistake. No internal doubt. When the door swings wide, it will remain wide for the purpose I intended. So let your heart rest in finality, not fragility. Let your expectation mature into confidence. Let your confidence steady your sleep. The one who holds the key has already decided. And now, as this assurance surrounds you, I am ready to cover you fully in blessing and peace. Let that assurance wrap around you now. You do not need another sign tonight. You do not need another confirmation. You do not need to replay everything you have heard in this quiet space. What has been spoken over you is settled. What has been established for you is secure. So now, simply rest. Sleep now. I am working. While your body restores itself, I am arranging what concerns you. While your breathing deepens, I am moving in places you cannot enter. While your thoughts finally grow still, I am continuing the alignment, the removal, the preparation, the timing. You do not need to stay awake to protect your future. You do not need to monitor the outcome. You do not need to guard the door. I am already there. There is something inside you that still longs for one more reassurance before you drift off. A final covering. A gentle reminder that you are not stepping into darkness alone. I will give you that. The Lord bless thee, and keep thee. The Lord make his face shine upon thee, and be gracious unto thee. The Lord lift up his countenance upon thee, and give thee peace. Receive that slowly. Bless you. Keep you. Let my face shine upon you. Be gracious to you. Lift up my countenance upon you. Give you peace. Peace that settles into your muscles. Peace that slows your heartbeat. Peace that quiets the last anxious thought trying to surface. You are kept tonight. Not partially. Not conditionally. Kept. Nothing will slip through my hands while you sleep. Nothing assigned to harm you will bypass my covering. Nothing meant for you will be diverted away from you. You are surrounded. Let your body feel that safety now. The day is finished. The striving is finished. The analyzing is finished. The wondering is finished. There is nothing left for you to solve before morning. There is nothing left for you to figure out before rest. Close your eyes without resistance. Let the surface beneath you hold your weight fully. Let your breathing become slow and even. I am not distant. I am near. Even in the stillness of this room, even in the quiet hum of the night, I am attentive. I do not sleep. I do not overlook details. I do not pause my care when you close your eyes. Tomorrow carries movement. Not frantic movement. Not overwhelming change. But steady evidence that something has shifted. You may notice it in subtle ways at first. A lightness in your spirit. A conversation that feels different. A door that responds instead of resists. Do not rush to label it. Just observe. Just receive. Testimony does not always arrive loudly. Sometimes it begins quietly, as a gentle unfolding. And you will recognize it because peace will accompany it. For now, the only thing you are called to do is rest. Sleep while I open great doors for you. Sleep while I align what belongs in your life. Sleep while I remove what no longer serves you. Sleep while I prepare what is ahead. You are not falling behind tonight. You are being carried. You are not forgotten tonight. You are being remembered in every detail. You are not powerless tonight. You are protected and positioned. Let your last waking thought be this: I am working. And let your first waking breath tomorrow carry calm expectation. Now surrender fully. Drift gently. Rest deeply. I am here. And I am still working. If this prayer settled something inside you tonight, do not keep it to yourself. Before you sleep, take a quiet moment and type, I trust you with my doors. Let that be your declaration of surrender. If this message spoke directly to your season, subscribe and stay close. There is more unfolding, and you do not want to miss what is being released next. Share this with someone who has been carrying silent frustration about closed doors. You may be the confirmation they have been praying for. And when the door opens, because it will, come back and share your testimony. Your breakthrough will strengthen someone else's faith. Now rest. Tomorrow begins differently.